Our next story takes us to Europe and to a legal case that has stunned many people. Italy has opened a formal investigation into an allegation from the 1990s. An allegation so dark that prosecutors say they must examine it closely. Well, here's what it says. Rich foreigners paid money to travel into a war zone and shoot at civilians for entertainment. You heard that right. I'll repeat it just in case. Rich foreigners paid money to travel into a war zone and shoot at civilians for entertainment. These people are being called sniper tourists. And when did all of this happen? Almost 30 years ago, during the Bosnian War. Some of you may remember what happened then. The story begins in Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia used to be a country. Yugoslavia, the country, was made up of 6 republics. These republics lived under one flag, one government and one leader, and they stuck to this system for decades. But in the early 1990s, the system collapsed and Yugoslavia broke apart. Old ethnic tensions resurfaced. The Republic of Bosnia declared independence, and that triggered a 3-sided complex conflict. Which were the 3 sides? Bosnian Serbs, Bosnian Croats, and Bosnian Muslims. They were at war. And it became one of Europe's bloodiest wars. One of the worst tragedies unfolded in Sarajevo. Sarajevo is Bosnia's capital. The city sits in a valley surrounded by hills. In 1992, Bosnian Serb forces captured those hilltops and they turned them into sniper positions. And from these hilltops, they could see every street, every bridge, every person who stepped outside their home. This siege lasted nearly 4 years, from 1992 to 1996. And in this 4-year period, more than 10,000 civilians were killed, many of them by random sniper fire. Now, it is against this history, this backdrop, that the latest allegations must be understood. The claim comes from an Italian writer. His name is Ezio Gavazzeni. He says he spent years collecting statements and testimony, and he says foreigners from wealthy countries were escorted to those sniper positions. They were shown how to handle weapons, and some were reportedly allowed to fire at civilians below. According to some reports, there was even a price list. So what was the price of shooting a human being? $92,000 to $115,000 US. Now, to be clear, none of this has been proven yet, but the prospect itself is chilling. And if true, it would mean civilians were used as targets for money, for entertainment. And it would represent a new and deeply disturbing form of war crime. This is why Italian prosecutors are taking the case so seriously. They're examining whether the allegation involved Italians and whether the claims could lead to murder charges. The author, Gavazzeni, has also referenced a documentary to back his claims. It's a documentary called Sarajevo Safari from 2022. It included statements from a former Serb soldier and a contractor who said that these tourist snipers did come. Reports say a Bosnian intelligence officer has also given testimony. And this is why the allegation strikes such a raw nerve, because it echoes something ancient. History shows that human beings have often treated violence as entertainment. In ancient Rome, elites paid to watch gladiators die. They paid to watch animal hunts. The Bosnia allegation, if true, would be a modern version of that. But not everyone agrees with the allegation. Serbian war veterans say nothing like this happened. No foreigners ever visited their positions. They say it would have been impossible because of checkpoints and tight controls. There were British soldiers too who served in Sarajevo, and they too have denied the claims. Some have described it as an urban myth. And that is what makes this case so complex. The war ended 30 years ago. Memories have faded, documents are limited, and much of what happened in the hills was never recorded in the first place. So the real question tonight is not just about proof, it's also about possibility. Could a system of sniper tourism have operated? Could foreigners have reached those hilltop positions without anyone noticing? And if they did, what does that say about the war, about human rights and cruelty, and about the value placed on human life.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all three just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.